Hey guys, Derek from Classic Game Room.
Well, Series 2 picks up right where Series 1 left off in that it brings back Mario and Luigi, only with 2 different poses. It also brings in a first-timer with Princess Daisy, which is awesome. So that's half of it. The other 3 that round out Series 2 are Lakitu, the cloud enemy, as well as Shy Guy, and a Koopa Troopa. Those are the other 3. But just like Series 1, the quality is just spot on. As you can see, there are always going to be a couple little minor details that aren't great. A couple little paint splotches that bleed over into a different color. You know, anytime you have such figures with such minor details, there are always going to be little imperfections, especially for such a cheaply priced toy. But in general, very well done. And what I really like is they're always like classic Nintendo poses, right? They're poses that these characters do in the character art and stuff like that. This is a sort of a pose from the new Super Mario Brothers games where Mario's just like, you know, staring straight ahead. We got a classic Luigi pose where he's teetering about, as he often does. And Daisy with her hands on her hips, because she is a sassy dame. But, you know, one thing I've always mentioned about the Goldie line is that as high as the quality is, it's also a little inconsistent, and that's where Series 3 comes into play. Now, you know, again, disclaimer, I don't have the full series, but there is a level of inconsistency in these 3 figurines specifically that I just didn't experience in any of the first 2 series, my experience with those figurines. So let's do a little Mario on Mario comparison here to illustrate the point. On the right, we have Fire Mario from Series 3, and on the left, we have Super Mario from Series 1. And, you know, as soon as you start to zoom in on these 2 guys, the discrepancies in quality become very evident. And it really starts with the faces, right? Super Mario's face is actually painted, whereas, well, Fire Mario's is not. You know, you could say maybe that's a conscious decision. Maybe they thought the sort of the lighter flesh tone of the original Mario figure, maybe that was a weird contrast with the whites of the Fire Mario. I don't know. But what is clear is that one is painted and one is not. One that's almost like the base color of the plastic itself, almost like it just wasn't painted at all. And really that's just the start of what seemed to be some sloppy execution with the Series 3 line. You know, another thing is the M on Mario's hat. On the original figure, there's a little indentation around it in the plastic. Makes it look like it was sewn on, gives it some texture. But on the Fire Mario figure, it's just painted on. It's almost like a little stencil. So it's completely flat against Mario's hat. Again, just seems like a little shortcut. In fact, to be honest, the Dixie Kong character is the first time in the entire line that I kind of felt a little gypped by the price. The quality here is just not too happening. As you can see, there's a huge seam between her eyes and sort of the top of her head and her mouth, the mouth part. Huge gap there. The paint job's pretty sloppy. You know, it's very loose. It doesn't feel as well made as sort of the earlier figures. And again, you know, that's something you really did not get in the earlier series. This Mario figure is nothing if not well made. No huge seams like that, no gaps. Really solid paint job, really sturdy and well made. But yeah, the Dixie Kong, representative of what my experience has been, although incomplete as it may be, with Series 3. Just a dip in quality that you know, can't really explain other than to say, you know, time went on and people got sloppy. I don't know. Nonetheless, if you are a Nintendo fan, you're really into memorabilia and collectibles and things like that, these minifigures from Goldie are really outstanding. Definitely a must-have. Just, you know, be aware that the quality is a little inconsistent. You know, I've heard from people who say they didn't have any quality problems with Series 3 and that all 3 series were great for them. I've heard from people who say the quality was spotty from 1 through 3. So it seems to be very individualized, and again, inconsistent. But even when they're not so happening, like with Dixie Kong, they're still a great little collector's piece, particularly when you have all the series, all the figures lined up. It's a great display. For any Nintendo fan, it's really cool. They are the Super Mario minifigures from Goldie Marketing. And if you could buy them in those packages, boy, that's really the way to go, because Lakitu is a pain in the ass to track down. He does ride a cloud, after all, so it is, it's understandable.